welcome to On This Day. On this day today being the 4th of February, and it's the start of the Winter Olympics in Beijing, but that isn't a fact. So what do we do here on this day? So we take a day from history. As I've already said, the 4th of February is the day today. What we're going to do is we're going to look at some births, we're going to look at some deaths, and some things that happened. Then we're going to finish it with some fun facts, and the fun facts today are on electricity, so that's something to be shocked about. So, born today then on 4th of February 1902, Charles Lindbergh, the American aviator who was first to fly solo across the Atlantic, born in Detroit, Michigan. He died in 1974, just before I was born. In 1913, Rosa Parks, American civil rights activist who refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white passenger. Born in Tuskegee in Alabama, she died in 2005. Good on her. And also born in 1948 was Vincent Verner. Who is Vincent Verner? I cry. Well, he is actually Alice Cooper, the American theatrical rock singer and songwriter. Scores out amongst others. He was born also in Detroit, Michigan, just like Charles. So, who died then? Well, there's probably thousands of people who died, but the three I've got are Lucius Septimius Severus, the Emperor of Rome, from 193 to 2001. He died at the age of 64 in 211. Seems strange, doesn't it, saying 211? In 1936, there's a year I can recognise. Wilhelm Gustloff, a German leader of the Swiss Nazi Party. He was born in 1895. There's a Nazi bastard dying before the outbreak of the war. And it was Swiss, and I thought they're supposed to be neutral, but there you go. And in 1983, Karen Carpenter, American pop vocalist and drummer. We've only just begun. Rainy days and Mondays. Top of the world dies of anorexia at 32. So what happened then on the 4th of February? That's 16th for you today. In 1600, astronomers Tycho Brahe and Johannes Kepler meet for the first time in Prague. Kepler, off of the Kepler telescope, of course. In 1789, the first electoral college chooses George Washington as president and John Adams as vice president. In 1794, French National Convention proclaimed the obliteration of slavery. In 1797, earthquake Quito kills 41,000 in Ecuador. Sorry, earthquake in Quito, it wasn't called that. In 1901, Emperor of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Franz Joseph I, gives a speech condemning and demands a national group and calls for economic and social reform. What could possibly go wrong with that? In 1917, Belgium Council of Flanders is established. As you don't know, Flanders was one of the many big areas which was battled over in the First World War. In 1920, the first flight from London to South Africa departs. It takes 1.5 months. That's hardly a groundbreaking fly, was it? What did they do? Fly from, I don't know, just over to France and then several times to get to the world? Let's not worry about that. In 1933, German President Paul von Hindenburg limits freedom of press, and in 1938, Adolf Hitler seizes control of German army and puts Nazis in key posts. Yep, there we go. There's our daily dose of the Nazis. In 1945, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin meet at Yada in the Crimea to discuss the final phase of World War II. In 1988, Panamanian General Manuel Noriega, indicted by the US federal grand jury for drug trafficking and racketeering. In 1990, 10 Israeli terrorists murdered near Cairo. In 1994, 20 die in armed assaults on mosque in Khartoum in the Sudan. In 1998, an earthquake measuring 6.1 on the Richter scale in northeast Afghanistan kills more than 5,000. In 2004, Mark Zuckerberg launches Facebook from his Harvard dormitory room. In 2021, first successful face and double hand transplant announced, performed on the 22-year-old Joe DeMeo in New York. Don't know how he is, hopefully he's still good. So, some fun facts then about electricity travels at the speed of light, more than 186,000 miles per second, or around 300,000 kilometers a second. A spark of static electricity can measure up to 3,000 volts. Lightning is a discharge of electricity in the atmosphere. Lightning bolts can travel at around 130,000 miles per hour and reach nearly 54,000 Fahrenheit in temperature. Electric eels can produce strong electric shocks of around 500 volts for both self-defense and hunting. Have you ever wondered why birds sitting on a power line don't get electrocuted? If the birds sat on just one power line, it is safe. However, if the birds touch another line with a wing or a foot, it creates a circuit causing the electricity to flow through the bird's body. The result, electrocution. Two positive charges repel each other, as the two negative charges, on the other hand, opposite charges attract each other. So you think of that with magnets, you get that if you have the two plus sides, they don't want to go together. Two negatives, they don't want to go together. Stick them the other way up, they stick. Not sure what that is going past, probably can hear that. Okay, coal is the world's biggest source of energy for producing electricity. Coal is burned in furnaces that boil water. The steam from the boiling water then spins turbines that are attracted to generators. Did you know that electricity plays a role in the way your heart beats? Electricity causes muscle cells in the heart to contract. An electrocardiogram (ECG) machine used by medical professionals measures the electric going through the heart. As the heart beats in a healthy person, the ECG machine displays a line moving across the screen with regular spikes. I think these are the machines which they make crap up with on medical dramas. Electric fields work in a similar way to gravity, whereas gravity always attracts. Electrical fields can either attract or repulse. And Benjamin Franklin carried out extensive electricity research in the 18th century, inventing the lightning rod among his many discoveries. In the event of a lightning strike, the lightning rod conducts the strike through the ground wire, protecting the building. And I'm sure if they weren't a thing, we would have lost many a building. Anyway, this has been the 4th of February. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a good time. This is the kitchen today. Hope you're all well. See you, pals.